Okay, so I thought I would do a little video walking you through the Wealthy Witches portal so you know what to expect inside. So as soon as you joined one of the Wealthy Witches masterminds, you will get instant access to the portal. And then over time, even if you're not in the mastermind anymore, as long as the mastermind is running, as and when I make updates because I feel like something needs to shift or move or we need an addition, you will get access to those updates as well. So it's very much a living and breathing body of work that you will get to benefit from as I evolve, as the programs evolve, and as you evolve. So let me share my screen and give you a little looky look. So this is the portal. Um, you've got the Zoom link, intros. So even as I'm recording this, new materials are about to go into the portal. So in that first module, we're looking at what is a witch, and really that is so that you can make it your own, right? There isn't a defined term, but I give you lots of things to think about. So actually, what does being a witch mean to you? What is a wealthy witch? What is the paradigm of wealthy witches? So it's that space of living life from the natural place, working with ancient rituals, maybe working with a dream, accessing your guides, but really doing life and business from a place where you aren't pushing, you aren't hustling, you aren't trying to prove. It's very much that kind of natural, slow, working with your rhythms, working with your seasons, working with your cycles. The video that I've just recorded that's not on here yet, that is going to go into module one, also helps you get super clear right at the start on what is it that you actually want from your life? Like, what do you want life to look like? What do you want work to look like? When do you want to be working? When do you want to be resting? When do you want to be spending time with family? When do you want time for yourself? So that you can get super, super clear on actually what does all of work and life want to feel like? And then you build from that place with that understanding of how you want it to be, right? Module two, we look at the hero's journey. So, how did everything in your past leave you through to here? There's lots of work in there. Um, Nervous system work, shamanic journey work, just to help you get into a place of connecting to your journey and then feeling safe to bring that through in however you are called. I also look at the use of AI tools like gene keys and human design and astrology to support you in your mission. So that's in the using AI section. Module three, we look at connecting into your soul purpose and mission and how we connect into that. We do some super conscious recoding work to help you lead without losing yourself. Because my programs and my spaces, it's not just business coaching, right? There is a big element of you first, the leader behind the brand, how you are truly taking care of yourself as the vessel that is delivering the work, kind of as the primary point. So, whilst my programs will do strategy and will help you with all of that and any kind of background business building pieces, front and center is always going to be how you are taking care of yourself as you do this work. And so, module four, we dive into health. A big part of actually being able to do the work is have you got the nervous system capacity to hold it, to hold the mission without wobbles, without checking out, without self-sabotaging. So there's lots of materials in here as well around nervous system regulation, expanding your capacity, but really taking care of yourself. So you can see that's all in module four. Module five, we look at meeting your guides. What is what are the other sources of guidance out there that you can connect into? We look at the dream, we look at working with the Chinese I Ching, which is kind of an ancient oracle text. There's another shamanic journey in there using a power animal to support your decision-making process, using guidance from your power animals that will help you connect into what is your power animal, if you have one. Module six, we look at returning to the natural place, which is really the cornerstone of my work in whatever program you are in. What does it look like? What does the natural place look like? Is a topic of conversation. But then also, how do you work with the seasons, your internal season, your natural cycle, working with the moon. There's a timeline activation in there. So, how do you recode to your highest timeline? The timeline where your mission comes to life, you feel healthy, you feel vibrant, you're resting, you're productive, all of that, essentially you're like the ideal. There's an activation in there to help you bring that to life. Module 7, we look at fortification. How do you create in yourself the vessel that is match fit and ready to deliver the mission, no matter what is happening in life? And a big part of what we look at in here as well is that addiction to struggle. Like, how do we really undo and move away from any patterns of people pleasing, overgiving, pushing, feeling that need to prove, feeling that need to be on all of the time? Because if you don't work through those patterns, you aren't going to be able to exist and operate in your business in a way that is sustainable, in a way that feels good, and in a way that actually allows you to just live your life and experience joy and have it all, which is what we're here to do, right? We're not just here to work. We also have a chakra balancing activation meditation in there as well to just kind of align all of the chakras, make sure that your body is in balance on an energetic perspective and level, as well as the kind of more mental and emotional. Then we move into healing the witch wounds. So we all carry these wounds around various things. So we've got a big section here on money and how we really anchor into that. There's various techniques and things I walk you through in there that you can use. Again, working with the conscious and the subconscious and the superconscious, because the subconscious and the superconscious is 95% of the decision-making process. So we're really missing a trick if we aren't tapping into those parts and we're only staying at the level of mindset and strategy. We look at healing the witch wound around power, like what that looks like, reclaiming your power, reclaiming the power visualization activation in here is one of the favorite videos of people who have been through this program before. It's a very, very powerful way to connect back into your innate power from a healthy space. Then we move into activating and engaging and really dialing up your life force energy, your magnetism, that kind of the sexual, sensual parts of yourself. Because, of course, wealthy witches also does involve how do we make vast amounts of money in a way that feels good, even though wealth for me isn't just money based. It's about wisdom, it's about embodiment, it's about feeling alive, it's about living and loving your life in line with that natural place and the seasons and being healthy and healing. That was just spelling out wealth, by the way. You'll see it on the sales page. We also want to look at, well, how am I uniquely here to make money and bring abundance and prosperity into my life? So then in module 12, we're looking at wealth codes, what they are, how you activate them, how you work with them. We move on to words as spells, how you might write your own spells. Just recorded a new video to go in this section for people who might feel more aligned with prayer, whether that's religious or non-religious prayer or affirmations. But essentially, it's tapping into like the words we use matter and the words we use have a frequency. And how do we use that for the life we want, for the mission that we're here to deliver? Module 4 is alchemy. So how do we turn lead into gold? How do we alchemize some of those things in our past to really bring forward our mission? Because we all have the stuff that feels uncomfortable or the parts of ourselves that we feel like we need to hide or we feel ashamed of. But actually alchemizing that stuff, integrating those parts is where we then create so much freedom and so much ability to be ourselves. So that is module 14. Module 15 is then really, as we come to the end, module 15 is really like, okay, well, we've done all this work now. How do we embody it? How do we embody it and infuse it into life and work so that we are living from joy, from peace, from alignment, alignment and aliveness. On really taking this incredible care of ourselves, because as the mission expands, as we expand, as we evolve, we also need to keep evolving and expanding our nervous system capacity and our ability to hold it all rather than tapping out. So that's what we're doing in module 15. And then module 16 is completion, which is kind of bringing it all together, tying it up in a lovely bow. So that is the portal for now. So I thought you would just like to see a little bit of an overview of like, well, what's actually involved. So depending on which space you are in, so Path to Freedom, we will go through each of those modules week by week. Soul Expansion, you're a little bit more advanced, so we're not going to go through it in the same way. Like the conversations will be different conversations when we have the live mastermind calls, but you still have access to the portal to dive into things and work through things at your pace and in a way that feels good. So any questions, come and let me know. But hopefully this just gives you a little bit of an overview. And if you feel that pull, if this is calling you in, check out more information on the mastermind below. When the next round is, any bonuses available, any questions, come and contact me. And if it feels aligned and it is calling you, I look forward to welcoming you into a future round. Ciao for now.